Let's set the scene. It's 1998. A time when your trousers were too big, your hair was too floppy, and your dial-up internet made a terrible screeching sound whenever you tried to go online. And into this absolute chaos of a decade, we had trading cards. Magic the Gathering. I'll pick on that one. Not Commander, not Arena. Not look at my custom proxy deck that I pulled out from Pinterest. No. This was real Magic. Cards looked like they were printed on recycled cereal boxes. Rules were kind of interesting back in those days. Power creep was kind of illegal, and every booster felt like a message from God, or at least whatever deity lived inside your local card shop. And that's exactly where Destroy All Humans They Can't Be Regenerated drops you. Not in the modern reimagining of gloss and polish, or a nostalgic fumble. It pulls you in to that world, that moment in time. I'm Darv James, welcome to this episode of The Bald Book Geek. Like, sub, tell me what you think in the comments below. If you've got a hype button, if you like manga, if you like books, hit that. It's always welcome. Interaction makes the algorithm a little less bald queenish. Also, if you want to support me or get involved in the more personal stuff and the podcast, we have Substack, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships, and Ko-fi if you just want to buy me a coffee. But if you don't want to join any of those, a like and a comment is great. So let's talk about this manga. Let's do it. This manga goes, well, straight into the trenches. You want nostalgia? Take it. Take all of it. And honestly, it works. It works too well. Like, someone reached into your memories and said, hey, remember this? Remember this time? Yeah, same. When I first heard Magic the Gathering had a manga, I assumed it would be like every other manga tie-in product. Overproduced, vaguely corporate, trying to sell you draft boosters you can't afford. And then I read it. And it instantly went, oh, this is made by someone who actually lived in the era. Someone who remembers all of this stuff. The movies, the pop culture, the fashion, the tech. Someone who was there and you can feel it. And someone who remembers, no matter what game you played, sitting in a dimly lit room deciding which deck was worth using or figuring out what trade was worth making. This manga was made by someone who cares, someone who knows the embarrassment of showing up to school and just kind of being that nerdy outsider kid, or the one hiding their nerdy outsider stuff. This is a slice of life manga. It's a rom-com. And it works. It feels personal, it feels real, it kind of feels like therapy if you want honesty. Okay, I don't think we can talk about manga without talking about the art, because I absolutely love the art style here. A lot of manga today are visually stunning, but also visually exhausting. Like, calm down. You don't need 600 lines of shading just to show a character blinking. But this series, it's calm, it's nostalgic, it's warm. It has that slightly old school shonen look where everything feels a bit more grounded and a bit more reality based. The way they draw the cards, the way the pop culture is weaved into the artwork, the attention to detail here, the booster packs. I mean, it looks like they were found in a dusty hobby shop in a shopping mall that closed down sometime in the year 2001. It hits something in your brain, like something really primal, like, oh yeah, this was before adulthood crushed me. Literally. On the surface, it's a coming-of-age slice-of-life manga about two teenagers on the opposite end of the social ladder and the academic ladder. But underneath it, it's about this weird, awkward, painful, beautiful time in your life where your identity is still wet cement. Where every hobby feels like the most important thing on the earth. Where friendships form from the simplest thing. Like, I don't know, arguing which Pikachu card is better, jungle or base set. Magic is the framing device. The heart is everything else. The tiny human moments, the emotional misunderstandings, the small victories that matter more than anything at the time. It's sweet without being saccharine. which is refreshing. It's nostalgic without being manipulative. It doesn't just, let's go back and go, wasn't the 90s magical? It goes, weren't we all idiots back then? But weren't we likeable idiots? So yeah, we were. We absolutely were idiots. In the best way possible. Not enough stories set themselves in that exact time window. Before internet metadecks, before net decking, before you could Google an entire tournament breakdown in 3.3 seconds, before nostalgia became a commodity and content, before people have rediscovered low-rise jeans that aren't actually low-rise. I'm sorry, but if you don't need to shave before wearing them, they're not low-rise. And that's quoting one of my best friends. It's beautifully done. It's a nostalgic love letter to that bubble of late 90s, early 2000s nostalgia. And it's setting itself up. I know how it ends. I read the Japanese versions. But I will say this, we're on volume 5 in English and it's definitely worth it. For want of a better way of saying it, everything was a vibe, everything was a rumour, everything felt like the Wild West then. This manga captures that beautifully, that weird point where growing up, you're not a kid anymore, but you're not an adult, and you're in that weird bubble. That uncertainty, that feel of discovery, of learning who you are. The joy of actually learning a game without a wiki page on your smartphone. But let's be honest. Most of us didn't play trading card games just for the games. We played them because it was where our people were, even if those people were slightly annoying. Always broke, and in fairness smelt like Red Bull, but that's a whole traumatic memory. This manga understands that. It understands the culture around it. Of even the game shops. It was a meeting point. It was a refuge. It was our weird little sanctuary from everything else. It understands the human connection, the game, the world, and the time. And it was our way of connecting. It was our way of expressing ourselves. The way we found out who we are, or at least who we wanted to pretend we were. Reading this as an adult, looking back, it hits differently. Because suddenly you see the friendships, the rivalries, the crushes, the goofy arguments over land ratio. You see your old self, your old crew, your old routine. You see who you were, and that kind of stings in a bittersweet way. There's an idea that nostalgic media just exists to sell back your childhood. And that's not wrong. But this manga isn't doing that. It's not trying to be fancy. It's not trying to push product. It's not trying to sell this stuff to an audience. It's doing the opposite. It's saying, hey, your childhood and teenage years mattered. Those silly things that kept you going, they mattered. Those games, the friendships shaped you in ways you didn't even realise until looking back 25 years later. And honestly, as someone who has spent way too many years making content online, reading books, trying to write novels, burning out every 3 months, I needed that reminder. Sometimes it's nice to remember when the things we love didn't have to be productive to be meaningful. So yeah, Destroy Humans They Can't Be Regenerated is not just a Magic the Gathering manga. It's not even really about magic at its core, it's a love letter. To growing up, to friendship, to shiny cardboard, to that very specific era when your biggest problem was whether you pulled a rare or not from a booster pack that you begged your mum to buy. And honestly, as someone who grew up with TCGs, specifically Pokemon more than anything, but this manga hits the soul in the right place. It's funny, it's sentimental, it's beautifully illustrated. And it understands something a lot of people don't understand. A lot of nostalgic content doesn't understand. A lot of Magic the Gathering content doesn't understand. Stuff like this wasn't just a game. It was a moment in our lives. And some part of us is still sitting at that table, shuffling badly and hoping this booster pack finally gives us something good. If you enjoyed this, I hope you enjoyed this. This was made for a different channel, but I'm putting it here because it was too good not to. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.